Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, mommies and daddies, welcome to another exciting edition of your number one pidgin podcast for Nigeria, for Africa, and across the globe. This na Lahore Talk podcast, where we dey keep am real, raw, and unapologetic. Now, maybe your talk host. My name is Vic Riches, and as always, anytime I sit down for here, you know, say I dey bring the brightest of mind, the man we sit down with me this morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you did watch us from. I dare say is easily the smartest mind I've come across. When it comes to a person being self-aware, give them 100%. See, if you look for a person, we go tell you something, we go make you happy, and no be the truth. No expect them from this man because he's a non-conformist. He go tell you as it is, whether you like him or you know like him. But besides that, I'm talking about a man who is a serial entrepreneur. So you don't move from being IT expert to recreation down to real estate. So if you talk about a businessman who is a billionaire, now he sit down with me, meaning say very soon, me go wear that status proudly. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Keji Giwa.
Thank you very much. What an introduction. And everyone keeps saying billionaire, billionaire.
You know,
I'm just holding people's money.
So you're going to deny that status is in there?
It is social media billionaire. It is social media billionaire. It was, I think it's influencers and blogs that coined it. I'm in service to my investors. I hold a portfolio of what billions of naira on behalf of my investors. So
that doesn't make you a billionaire.
It makes me.
It just be modest. But this modest part is not what people would easily know you for.
Well, no, I'm not.
And because not that you flaunt anything on social media, because if anything, I think you live the simplest of life.
Yeah, very simple.
But how you speak on wealth automatically sells the idea that he's a billionaire.
Yeah, but I'm not sure. I don't show off. I don't put anything in anybody's faces. I just showcase what it is we're doing. And the core focus is to, at the end of the day, if I can't see it, then I can't invest in it. And if you can't sell me the vision, then I can't buy into it. So I have to do what I have to do. Now, in doing that, that obviously might give some people the impression that, I don't know, he's showing off.
Right.
But the question is it showing off? A marketer has to market. A salesperson has to sell, you know.
And sales deals with numbers.
Sales deals with numbers. So, and I think sometimes it's shocking to people when they hear the word billion, not to talk of multiples of it, you know. But when you link it to what is evidently there, then obviously there's almost like, yeah, then it must be worth that. Okay, then the question now is, oh, how did he get the money? Then his question is, oh, and then I'm unapologetic when it comes to my views.
Yeah.
And I don't think anybody should be. If you have a view, share it. No one is. That's what freedom of speech is. But you also have to be careful on how you say it. I think where I get it wrong, actually, I don't think I get it wrong. I think we're too sentimental, and we don't like hearing the truth. And I said it before, we're surface dwellers. We don't deep dive, you know. So I can, just from this podcast here, I may say one thing, and out of probably an hour podcast, and somebody will just grab that one thing, and that becomes the gospel, you know, rather than getting an understanding of it. Now, I can't be responsible for how you take that. So hence, that might be seen as arrogance.
Does it bother you? I mean, I think that if there's anything I've come to respect when it comes to your name is your self-awareness. It feels like nobody will tell you something about you that you don't already know about yourself.
Yeah, there's an old saying that if you don't appreciate yourself, you depreciate. And I believed in that I take that seriously. If your life is defined by what people think of you, then you'll be like the wind. Anywhere it blows is where you go. But if you know who you are, what you stand for, where you're going, where you're from, it becomes very difficult for someone to direct you in the wrong place when you already know where you're going. So being self-aware, I think, is absolutely critical to happiness. You know, you don't. Nobody owes you happiness. No one is responsible for your happiness but you. And if you are relying on affirmation from people, then that becomes the path to depression and an early death. So being self-aware of who you are, what you want, and your perspective on life is very important. Now, whether it is right or wrong, it is your lot to carry. But at least you learn or you don't learn, but you take responsibility and you're accountable for it.
Would you say your father had a great impact on how you turned out, especially with you being very vocal about what you're believing and how you're not a non-conformist? Would you say your father, because I've heard you speak of him and his impact in your journey?
Yeah, I talk about my father a lot. I think my father is much better man than I am, unfortunately. We're supposed to be better than our parents. But in this situation, there's a lot of things he'll be very proud of, and there's a lot of things he will not be proud of. One of the things he probably won't be proud of is my capitalist mindset. He's a giver all the way. He doesn't care about wealth. He would rather give to people. He would rather make sure everybody is okay. And he would lack for everybody to have. Now, I take some of that on board. I would lack for my family to have. But I don't believe that everybody deserves love. And I don't think I'm the only person that thinks like that. I don't think everybody deserves to be helped. Not everybody qualifies for help. In fact, sometimes if you help somebody, you are destroying yourself. And so you have to be very careful. And I can confirm that even Jesus Christ agrees with me. And if you want me to prove it, it's in the scriptures where it says, do not give the best of yourself to dogs and pigs, for they will not only trample upon what you give them, but they will turn around and bite you. If you don't believe me, Google it or go to your Bible and search for it. And I take that very seriously. You have to make sure that you're helping somebody that qualifies for help. Some people are not ready for help. Some people, you help them and they feel entitled to that help and they become your demise. So that's where me and my father differ. My father will help you regardless. Me, I will decide if you deserve help or not. Now, does that make me a bad person? To some people, yes. But for me and my family and my own, I'm just protecting me and mine. Now, does that make me selfish? I don't know.
How do you come to terms with who is deserving or not? Is it by what they say to you?
By their fruits you should know. You know, once again, that's scriptural, isn't it? There's a saying that, I believe that you should trust what people show you, not what they say. Trust is an extremely expensive item to easily give away, because you can trust somebody that will kill you. You can trust somebody that will destroy your business. You can trust somebody that will betray you. So trust is earned. So before I can go out my way for Peter, he must prove to me that I can trust him enough to go out my way for him. Now, somebody will say that is wicked. I say that is being cautious. So my directness, unfortunately, is not what people are used to. People are used to being lied to. And that's why in my previous podcast, I said hope is the biggest tool used to exploit Nigerians. You know, because we want the empty promises without the hard truth. The seed time, harvest time is non-existent to us. We just know harvest time. We want to wake up and everything is okay. We don't understand delayed gratification. We don't understand long suffering. We don't understand that you need to put in the work in order to get the results. There's a time for everything under the sun, a time to work hard and a time to reap the reward, a time to be in pain and a time to be in joy, and you must finish your outdoor work, prepare your field before you build your house. Most people want to jump straight to build house. They don't want to finish their outdoor work. They don't want to prepare their field. They just want to build a house, and then we're living in a generation where a 9-to-5 job is a curse. We're living in a generation where somebody wanting to work as an apprentice, basically start from the bottom. Now we're here. Nobody wants to start from the bottom. Everybody wants to wake up and they're rich. And why? Because what you see on social media is people flaunting wealth without a justifiable source of that wealth. And like I said, it's hope selling. Yeah, it applies everywhere. Everywhere you go, everybody's selling that hope. And unfortunately, we're breeding a new generation of people that they don't have the backbone to survive the tough times. And why don't they have the backbone to survive the tough times? Because they did not finish the outdoor work. They did not prepare their field. They just want to build a house. I just want to be rich.
Does everybody have to go through that long suffering? I say this because it's assumed for most people, and by what you've shared, that you were born to a home of silver spoon. You've had your struggles very clearly, even whilst you were in the UK. Can't even imagine having to deal with what you did whilst you're still with your uncle. But then there was a result after that. You earned money from working for him. So some people will assume that your life was already set for success and you just kept on climbing the ladder. Others do not have that privilege.
I'm going to say something now that's going to annoy people. And like I said, it's not my place to make you feel good. It's my place to tell you the truth. Yeah? A man that does not leave an inheritance for his children's children is an imbecile. I didn't say that. It's in the Bible. You following me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I live. Yeah, it's an infidel. Yeah. So why would somebody say that? I can tell you for a fact that a lot of people are suffering the sins of their fathers. And the next generation will suffer the sins of their fathers today. Now, why am I saying this? I haven't told anybody this story before. My grandma, that's my dad's mom, had 9 children. Salaiko area. All of them died. Not at the same time, but different times. Apparently, she was almost 60, if not 60, when she had already decided that this is her lot in life. Then my grandpa, who's from Niger State, shows up in Lagos, meets my grandma. One day my grandma experiences her belly growing. She thinks it's fibroid or whatever it is. Eventually, she gives birth. Is my dad. She believes he's going to die, so she gives him away to the next door neighbor. My dad is 9 years old. I'm telling you, my dad is 16 years old when his supposed brother in school tells him, "You better go and find out who your mother is." But no, your mother is not my mother. He goes home and says, "Mommy, my brother said that you're not my mother." And the mother said, "You see that old woman over there that was always watching you? That's your mother." Wow. My dad leaves that house that day. Apparently, she's living in a room no more than this size. He puts his mat and he stays there until he grows up. Brilliant man, gets scholarship. In those days, if you are very smart and you can get a scholarship, you travel out. My dad goes to the UK. Yeah, He meets my mom before he does that, and they go together. And he studies. He does every odd job he can do to study. In the process, I'm born in the UK. My sister's born in the UK. He makes sure that we get our British passports. And he stays a little while and decides that he wants to come and make a difference in Nigeria. True story. He gets to Nigeria. I'm about maybe 3, 4, but I don't remember that we're living in Mushiolosha, the very, very worst of places. And my dad was living in a face me, I face you place. And then from there, we moved to, in fact, we first lived with our uncle, then we moved to a face me, I face you place. Then we then, and I remember that we lived in Mushiolosha because there's the Mushi market where one day my mom told me to go and get something. And then I went to get it. But me being inquisitive, I always saw a lot of people in this road where, and I went there and I got lost for 3 hours. And everybody was looking for me. So then we moved. My dad rented all the way through. We moved to a different place. I can't remember what that was. Then he got a job with Wamco as a production manager and moved on to head of production. And he was responsible for hiring thousands of people in that company over the years, giving people opportunities, giving people jobs, And he was a disciplinarian, a man of principles. Everybody trusted him. All of the white directors trusted him because he would get the job done. Production, nothing would be stolen. He was a man of integrity. And they even gave him the CSR things, the corporate social responsibility to go and provide water here. And it was him he was giving to, and he will use the money and bring change. He was a weird human being. Okay? But cut the long story short, when my dad decided that it was time to stop renting, he took a loan, I think maybe 5 years of his salary from the company, which means you don't get your salary, right? And he built the house, first house, and he did the same for the second house. He did the same for our schooling. And as far as he's concerned, he said I come from a polygamous home, because obviously his father had other wives as well. He said, I don't want my children to experience that ever. And I'm happy with one house, one big family house. And I'm happy with one wife and all my children in one place. And he maintained that. And to him, education was what mattered. And he empowered us with everything we needed to have. So when it was time for me to go to the UK, 16 years of age, 15, 16, I obviously went to live with my uncle and my aunt. And I worked. I cleaned windows. I did early momo. We call it early momo then. Toilets, wash toilets, offices, from 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. Okay? I was a potter, what do you call it? People that wash pots in a restaurant. One of the worst jobs you can ever have. Because once the restaurant opens at 6 p.m., you're washing pot all the way to 11 p.m. and the pots don't stop. And you're washing it and washing it and washing it. That thing can mess your head up, especially if you're a naturally creative person. I've done every job and every odd job. There's nothing. I've been a security guard, where somebody even got stabbed and I had to go to court and testify in the UK on that. So there's nothing I have not done. So when people tell me that I was born with a silver spoon in my mouth, is that a silver spoon? I hustled. I started a business when I finished university, borrowed £30,000 from the bank, lost the entire amount because I was new into business. My credit, everything destroyed. And I suffered to build my career back again for at least 7 years. So what is the silver spoon? I'm a hustler. I hustle. The only difference is, and this is where people get me wrong, everybody's hoping for something better. I see things exactly as they are. I look at yesterday. And I ask myself, how has it been over the last 5, 10, 20 years? How is it now? What are the patterns? What are the trends that led to where we are? Has those patterns and trends changed? No. Then I'm going to predict that it's going to get worse for the next 20 years. I'm going to build my entire business strategy around it getting worse so that I don't wake up being broke. So when I say that I'm banking on Nigeria not getting better, doesn't mean I don't want Nigeria to get better. But as a businessman, I'll be very stupid to use hope as a strategy. Hope is not a strategy. Reality is a strategy. A typical example is one naira was once upon a time $1. Do you want to hope that it will be like that and build your business on that? Or do you want to accept that once upon a time 1 naira was to $1, and then it became 20 naira to $1, then it became 100 naira to $1, then it became 200 naira to $1, 500 to $1, 1,000 to $1, 1,004 over the last 25 years. I'm going to make predictions on the next 25 years. You think I'm going to say, oh, don't worry, it's going to get better. No, I'm going to plan. If this thing becomes 5,000 to $1, 5,000 naira to $1, can my business survive? And if business cannot survive, then my strategy will be around making sure I can survive. So I am hoping it doesn't get better so that I can plan properly. That mindset is required in business. If not, you will be another person that is selling all your property to Jackpa. Why? Because you were too busy hoping for a better Nigeria. Does that make me a bad person? No. It makes me a realist. The problem is the vast majority of Nigerians are surface thinkers. See it on surface and run with it. No, deep dive.
Now you speak of optimism, and it feels like you're not up for it because you're a realist, which is what most business owners here in Nigeria run with. Oh, it is well, it will get better. My question is, do you think everybody can be a business person? It's been a long time argument that some people are meant to do 9 to 5, while some people are meant to own businesses. However, they will tell you that if you would be wealthy, then you should be doing business. You shouldn't be in the corporate world. What do you think about that?
I think it's a pack of bullshit. Excuse my language. And once again, since Nigerians are very religious, yeah, and we carry God on our head, then let's follow that scripture, right? To some he gave 2 talents, to some he gave 5 talents, some he gave 10 talents, each according to their own ability. Even God does not bless everybody equally. Yeah? Now, everybody should know their place in life. I'm a firm believer in that. Just because you are not going to be a billionaire doesn't mean you will not be happy. Money is not everything. It helps. Most people take their talent, take their calling and hide it because they're trying to be someone else. Because they say that this person is rich, so me too, I must be rich. And that's why in that same scripture, it says that the one that took his talent and hid it, even what he had was taken away from him. All these things are scriptural. Yeah. The only difference is while you're being excited about it, I live it. Yeah. So when people say to me that, oh, I'm an antichrist, I'm a devil, I probably know that Bible more than you do. And I probably live it more than you do. Because a lot of people don't know I used to be a youth pastor. But that's a conversation for another day. Yeah? Now, we're either a socialist, communist, or capitalist society. Nigerians are conservative and capitalist by nature.
Yeah.
So, the reality on ground is you cannot get to the 20th floor without taking the first step and the next step. You can't jump. The same scripture says, take small but secure steps. Lest you take a leap, fall, break your leg, and not be able to walk again. Like I said, we are all hoping to be a billionaire. We're not working towards being a billionaire. We all want to blink and everything is okay. And that's why when I say I support this current administration, it's not because I've been bought over. Who's going to buy me over? To look at the way I talk. Which politician will align themselves with me? In fact, based on what I've just recently said, everybody wants to stay away from me. If they want votes, it's not me they're going to take a picture with, is it? So that clearly tells you that I couldn't care less about that. The reality on ground is we need to wake up to the fact that, and I'm sorry to say what a lot of people don't want to hear. The best way for me to explain it is this. If your father gave you a house and told you that this house is your inheritance, you are excited and you are happy. Then you wake up one day and the bank comes up to you and says, just to let you know, there is, yes, your land is, your father's house is worth 100 million. They tell you that there is a loan of 150 million on this house and your father has only paid 10% of it. So ahead that you are you are the person that has inherited it. This is how much you owe us. But your father shows you what the land produces, and based on what that land produces, this is how you can pay that debt off. But it will take the next 10 years. You now have a choice to either ignore the debt or clear the debt, which means you can't spend any of the money. And your father tells you that, oh, by the way, your brother, who I left in charge, was spending this extra money that we could have made, just wasting it away. It's now your time to stop that wastage so that we can have extra money. But that extra money will still mean you still have to pay this debt off. If not, we will never be free. So what do? You have to pay the debt in order for that land to be 100%. You have 100% equity on that land, right? So, which means that you're going to have to suffer for quite a while. All right? But you know what you're working towards. That's the reality on ground. Nigeria is almost in the same predicament, if not a bit worse off. You know? And I've sat down, I've looked at the policies, I've looked at the changes, I've looked at the impact that just the little difference it has made on my business. And I looked at these policies, these infrastructural developments that are going on, and look at the value it can add to me, which is what everybody else should do. I thought this works for me. So now, somebody says, oh, you're selfish. When you sit down and take your time to look at the policies and look at the major infrastructural developments going on, and you figure out it works for you, are you selfish?
Not at all.
So I don't understand. You're blaming me for doing what you should be doing as well, that you are not doing.
It's an idea of patriotism, especially when you're someone who speaks. They just expect that the covering shouldn't just be you. And which is why when they see that you're an ardent supporter of the current administration, they tell you things like your day of reckoning.
I'm a supporter of the policies that are working. Tomorrow, if another president is there and his policies are working for me, I will support him. Do you get my point? And the question is, where is it written that I'm going on a podcast to go and represent all Nigerians? Am I a politician? Am I a pastor? Even your pastors, which of them have come out to represent you Nigerians? Why call them out? They're your spiritual leaders. Why is everybody attacking me? I'm not a pastor. I'm not a spiritual leader. I'm not a politician. I'm not the head of any particular local government. I'm a businessman. I'm responsible for my investors. I'm responsible and accountable to the investors, to my stakeholders, to my staff. Paying my staff salary is very important to me. And it's very difficult for you to find one staff member of mine come out and say, I do not pay well. The reason my employees stay with me for years or japa is because they can't find that money anywhere else in Nigeria. Because I believe that if you can deliver, then you must be paid extremely well. So those are who I'm responsible for. I'm responsible for my family. I hope you understand.
Yeah,
and I'm a citizen of the world. I keep telling people the planet Earth is Lagos is 0.00000, I think another 0.004% of the entire planet. That is Lagos. So I will come to this planet that I may not come back to. And throughout my entire limited life, my entire life is about Lagos. Come on now. You understand? It's like going on holiday to Paris and you stay in your hotel all throughout. You didn't explore Paris. I didn't come to this short life to come and live and die in Lagos. I want to explore the world. I want to enjoy the world, and I want to work hard enough to be able to have the time to do it. Time is the only commodity you can't get a refund on. So I don't joke with it. So would I do my best to be a blessing to as many people as I can? Yes, I will. But I didn't come to live because of that.
Speaking of inheritance, I mean, you've reiterated how your father did set the family up. But I also remember you speaking of how when you were younger, you saw your peers driving their father's cars and you wanted to hop on your dad's, and he told you that everything I own belongs to your mother.
Yeah. And it happened like that.
I'm here thinking because, I mean, how do you... Entitlement when it comes to children from a wealthy home is very common. There was a story of a young boy who shot his dad in Abuja as a result of expecting something from his dad, and he didn't receive that. How did that help you? Because I'm thinking about that boy. He's saying, these are my dad's, so it should come to me. There's already a sense of entitlement. But your dad didn't make you feel that way.
Yeah.
How did that make you feel at the time? And how did you think that translated now?
And that's why I keep saying it, that I hated my dad growing up because I felt it was wicked to me. And this is, I think, the same thing that Nigerians will come tomorrow and thank me for being honest with them. They just don't like hearing the truth. We like to be lied to. Now, I grew up with my dad making me realize that I am going to work for everything that I want. I earned everything I ever got. It's either I get straight A's or I don't get XYZ. I got punished for not achieving things. I didn't have anything handed to me on a silver plate or whatever they call it. I worked and earned for everything. In fact, the only time I remember my dad bailing me out 3 times was when I failed 3 times. I made a decision and went into business, and my dad was so proud of me that my failure to him was direction. Failure is, see, rejection is direction. Failure is an integral part of success, and he rewarded me for failing by bailing me out. And the last time, on the 3rd time that he bailed me out, he said, this is the last time I will bail you out, which means you cannot afford to fail anymore. As a father, I've brought you to this point. I've given you credit, 3 failed credits. Now no more failure. And to God who made me, I never failed since then. So, who do I blame in the situation where the son killed his father? From my experience, I blame the father. Children should not have everything they want. Children should understand what seed time, harvest time means. Children should understand what earning. Children should not be spoilt. Same Bible tells you that you should
spare the rod.
Do not spare the rod from the child. Yeah? You ask, but you don't receive because your motives are wrong. That's in the Bible as well, in terms of your prayers. So even God will discipline you. Do not despise the rebuke of God or something like that, because God disciplines those he loves. So if God would discipline you, who are you not to discipline your child? because whatever you sow in that child is what you reap. And hence, that's why the entitlement of that child has led to the demise of the father. Now, unfortunately, that child is now going to wake up and realize that maybe daddy didn't give him much money because daddy actually didn't have money. Maybe daddy didn't give him much money because daddy realized he was not responsible enough to manage that money. And now that daddy is dead, he might realize that daddy is in debt. And that's why, and daddy was just trying to stay afloat. So you have to, as painful as it is, and Nigerians will not agree with me and say I'm insensitive, but the reality on ground is for a child to wake up and feel entitled to what you have worked hard for is wrong. And I'm talking from experience because my own father told me I will never inherit anything. I have to go and get my own. Now, as I'm talking to you, I have a friend, he's a major developer in Magodo. Do you know how many times he has called me? Keji, that's your dad's 12 bed. What do you call it? Let's tear it apart, build plenty units, sell it, give your mom a small unit. I don't know, don't ever talk to me about that ever in your life. You've asked me once, you've asked me twice, now's the third time. Your greed, you're my guy, but your greed is disrespecting me. My father made an instruction. This is a family home. It will be the sanctuary for the entire family. And so, God has blessed me enough to not even look at my father's property as a way for me to cash out, but to preserve it. So, like I said, I'm talking from experience. I'm talking from my own experience.
Yeah.
You know, it's a sad thing that the man is dead. Horrible thing. But we should actually take time to learn from it, especially people from wealthy homes that spoil their children and give them just about anything that they want. You know, I believe it's important for your children to suffer. It's important for them to understand life. Why? So they can be prepared for it. If you keep shielding them from reality, when they face reality, reality will eat them up.
As a girl dad, so how are you instilling that discipline in your daughter?
First, by teaching her to think. So when she's very young, when pick her up from school and it's time to do her homework, she does it herself. When she tries to cram, I stop her. And I let her know, Giwa, think. You are a thinking girl. You ask questions. If you don't understand, ask me and I'll explain it. And since kids are very playful, we play about it. But I also discipline her when she gets it wrong. I discipline her. Now, I don't discipline my daughter for, let me rephrase, I don't discipline my daughter for getting it wrong. I discipline my daughter for not thinking about it. I hope you're with me.
Yeah.
So, and that, I think, is the first thing, is the first part. Because when people are thinking, entitlement is very difficult.
So you're looking for solution.
Yeah. And it's not that you're thinking about it. Oh, daddy, please give me XYZ. Son, I don't have it right now. Or daughter, I don't have it right now. Oh, daddy, why don't you have it? Oh, this is... There's a difference between somebody that is able to analyze and think compared to somebody that feels entitled. Entitlement does not require you to think. It requires you to ask and receive. I don't know if I say something wrong.
Let's talk about, it's very interesting how you quote scriptures. And then when you attack, I don't know if attack is the right word, when you speak against things happening in the Christian fold, it seems as though, as you mentioned, some people call you Antichrist. I want to understand where you stand religiously. What's your faith like? Do you believe in God?
That's a question people ask me all the time. I do not get up in the morning without praying and meditating and listening. And I don't go to bed without praying. I don't do, throughout my entire day, I'm asking for direction and committing my plans to the Lord, asking for Him to guide me. I constantly want to be like a tree planted by the stream, whose yields fruit in due season, where whatever I touch prospers. I want to commit my plans to the Lord, that He might make my path straight. I want to seek first the kingdom of God, because only after that will everything be added on to me. All these are scriptural, right?
Yeah.
Like I said, I internalize it. Now, do not think you'll be heard for your many words, because do not think you'll be heard for your many words. Yeah, like the pagans who think they will be heard for their many words. But when you pray, go into your room and lock your door. Let it be between you and God. When you give, don't let your left hand know what your right hand is giving. Because if you give in the full view of everybody, you have gotten your reward right there. Everybody knows that you have given money. Now, these are the things I internalized. These are the things I live by. So I don't understand going to a church and if you want to give, get up so everybody can see you are giving. No, that's marketing, that's sales. I'm a marketer, I'm a salesperson. I don't understand exactly what you're doing. It's psychology. So no, that doesn't sit well with me. If I give privately. I give because it's what I want to do. Yeah? I believe that faith without works is dead. So as much as I pray, I have to put in the work. I have to deliver. I know that Solomon asked for one important thing, and God blessed him so much he was richer than everybody else. And what was that important thing? He asked for
Wisdom.
no. If you read the scripture before that, he was already blessed with wisdom. One of the things he was naturally, that his father appreciated, everybody loved him for, was wisdom. He asked that God, this great wisdom, this great gift, this great talent you have given me, teach me how to use it to be a blessing to your kingdom. Teach me how to use it to serve your kingdom. And God said, because you have not asked for the death of your enemies, you have not asked for wealth and riches, which is what everybody is asking for 24/7 in church. Yeah? But you have asked for what I blessed you with, to be a blessing in my kingdom. What's a kingdom? A kingdom, an animal kingdom is a kingdom of animals.
All right.
The kingdom of God is the kingdom of us. To be a blessing in my kingdom, to be a blessing to people. When you give, you have given to God. When you give to the poor, you have given to God. I will not only give you the wisdom you have asked for, but I will give you all the wealth and the riches. Now, fast forward to New Testament. Seek first the kingdom of God, and everything else will be added on to you. Do not worry about what you eat, where you drink, where you sleep, for the pagans worry after those things. So if you are going to church 24/7, God give me this, God give me that, you are selfish, self-centered, evil person. Everything about you is all about yourself, not about God. So my prayer is different. God, you have blessed me with the talent of persuasion. You have blessed me with the talent of creativity. You have blessed me with this. Show me how I can use it to be a blessing to your kingdom. Show me how I can use it to change lives. Let my ways be in line with your purpose for me. And God said, since you have not asked for wealth and riches and the debts of your enemy, I will not only bless you, but I'll bring you at peace with all men. Hence, a simple me has been able to raise billions of naira from normal Nigerians, and we've built the largest water park in West Africa that now brings smiles to Nigerian families. Is that serving the kingdom?
Absolutely.
So am I an antichrist?
Like you said, I think a good number of us read the scriptures on surface level.
Mm-hmm.
But there are also principles giving, for instance, giving back, they're all written in scriptures. There were also offerings and tithes in scriptures. These are principles. Hence, you find a lot of people, whilst you would want to give back to humanity, some people would rather give back to the church.
And what's wrong with that?
You don't have issues with that. You would not do it, but you don't have issues.
I won't do it. I wouldn't do it because I am not a Christian, nor am I a Muslim, but I am also a Christian and I am also a Muslim. Religion is man's way of getting close to God. And every country or every power that be that has dominated the order has enforced their own understanding of God. Africa is not an Islamic nation. Neither is Africa a Christian nation. We were colonized. And through colonization, we inherited the religion passed on to us. In the same way, the British were colonized by the Romans, and they inherited the religion that was passed on to them. Bearing in mind that the Romans themselves were crucifying and killing the followers of Christ, not Christians in those days, the followers of Christ. And not only were they crucifying and killing them, they made sure that the message was stopped dead in its track until the fall of Rome itself. So, before then, even when Jesus Christ was around, there was no Christian. He's a Jew, right? Christianity came roughly, I don't know if it's 1,000 years or hundreds of years after. So, we are a product of a belief system based on who is dominating us. Now, man's way of getting to know God has said that Christ is the only way, and that's a group of people. As long as their deeds are right, God looks at the heart, right? Then the person is doing the right thing. You want to tell me that? See, you cannot tell me. I think it is a very selfish, self-centered, wicked, and judgmental thing for you to say that only through Christ are you going to heaven. So the millions of Muslims are going to hell. And it's very wrong for you to say only through Muhammad and Allah are you going to heaven. So all the Christians are going to hell. There are 7 billion people in this world. And we've been around for millions of years. Christianity alone is about 2,000 years old. So what happened to all humanity before then? Well, God decided to patiently wait for millions of people to die before he decided that it's time to show his face. To me, I'm not here to judge any religion, but I think it is wrong for you to now tell somebody that your religion is the right way. Even you don't know. No one has died and gone to heaven and come back. People have claimed it, but nobody has. Nobody knows if they are going to heaven or hell. We believe it. Belief is not fact. It is a fact that if you put your hand in fire, it will burn. It is a fact that when you die, we are not seeing you again. But there is no fact that we know where you are going when you die. But we like to believe, we like to hope that we are going to heaven or hell, because it is extremely depressing to be alive and know that in this beautiful life and this great gift of humanity, after 99 years to 100 years, there's nothing. That can drive you mad. So it's better to believe. In fact, it's coded into us to believe, to hope. It's part of our coding. Yeah.
So when things are not going as planned for you, I mean, even when you think, I mean, I'm sure there's been times where you thought you had the solution to a problem and it didn't turn out that way.
Yeah.
Where do you run to? How do you handle that phase?
Yeah. Well, it's a simple formula. Success is equal to, open bracket, T minus F to the power of E, which is equal to a constant 1. T is trial. F is failure, and E, power of E is experience. I'll break it down for you. How many times can you pass your driving test?
It depends. I don't.
No, I didn't say how many times you take your driving test. How many times can you pass your driving test? Let me help you. So you take your driving test 5 times. You fail 4 times. But you learn from it how many times? 4 times. So trial 5 minus 4, which is 1 to the power of E, experience, which is 4. 1 to the power of 4 is what? 1. The constant is 1. You can only pass something once. If you do it again, you are just repeating the step that you used to pass it. So the integral part of success is failure. The rate at which you succeed is wholly dependent on the power E, which is experience. So you get busy failing. As long as you keep trying and learning from that experience, the rate at which you succeed is dependent on how quickly you learn. And that's how I work. That's how I get on. That's how I got through life. When I kept on failing, everything I was touching was failing. I came up with that formula. And ever since, I keep going. I'm a bulldog. That's why they call me a stubborn goat. Because I know there's a sales saying that 4 out of 5 businesses fail. So as a result of it, it's risky to do a business. I see it differently. 5 minus 4. 1 to the power of E. Learn from the experience 4. Okay, so let me start the first one, fail quickly. Second one, fail quickly. Third one, I know that by the time I get to the 5th one, I'm going to succeed. Let's get busy failing. Mindset is very different. Hence why I said hope is not a strategy.
But there was a belief that in that experience, you would eventually succeed. Is that not optimism?
Yes, so that's what I wanted to address what you were saying earlier. I'm an extremely optimistic person. Being realistic doesn't mean you're not optimistic. In fact, optimism is what drives me. But I'm realistic because he who chases fantasy will come to poverty. Oh, it's in the Bible. So I'm not in the business of chasing fantasies. I have to be realistic. Then I'll be optimistic about what I'm realistic about. Hence why I keep coming back to it. I cannot hope for a better Nigeria. I must be realistic about where we are and then be optimistic about how I will succeed. If a better Nigeria now comes, I'm gonna cash out with that. Why? Because I've weathered the storm in the worst, which means that when I'm thriving, I'm just cruising.
It's an interesting way to see life. Well, let me talk about your personal journey. I mean, I think the first time I came across you was when the viral video of you saying you're a red flag. And I respected it because I think we need to come to terms with who we are. People ask me sometimes, why are you single? And I tell them I'm self-absorbed. Because at this stage of my life, I am only concerned about me and my journey. So bringing someone else into the picture will be a disservice.
That's not being self-absorbed. That's you being selfless. You don't want to destroy someone else's life. Let me tell you something. You are identifying as who you are, a man. I am not a big fan of this whole warped feminist agenda. Yeah? A man and a woman are not equal. They complement each other, but they're not equal. We're not equal in strength physically. We're not equal in emotional intelligence. Women are more emotionally intelligent than us. They have a higher IQ than we do. We are more animalistic. Why? Because our brute strength requires us to attack. Attack requires a bit of stupidity. Your voice is husky to scare. Her voice, if she screams, it grabs the attention of everybody. Because you're busy nurturing, and if you see something that scares you, your scream arouses men to protect. Biology alone has defined what a man and what a woman is. What we need to do is to respect the role of a man and respect the role of a woman, and understand that when those two become one, then you have not just multiplication, but domination. Subduing is even scriptural. Go and multiply, subdue, dominate. It didn't require man to do it alone. It was man and woman. So one is not better than the other, and one is not stronger than the other. I hope it makes sense. Just because if man's physical strength is visible, doesn't make him strong. The biggest of men have been brought down by women. So we need to start appreciating who we are. You are a man. Your job is to provide, protect, teach, and die for if necessary. So you have no business taking care of another when you are not ready to provide. Hence why you are being selfless to focus on being ready. Let's go back to when things really, really made sense. Even though we don't want to go back to those days, but they made sense. Why does a father give his daughter away at marriage? It's not just traditional. It's in our DNA. I am responsible for my daughter's safety. If I am going to give her to another man, that man is taking over my job. It's going to keep her safe. It's going to protect her. It's going to make sure she's happy. I hope you understand. So you're passing the baton to that person. This is the reason why in the old days, you can be in love with whoever you want to be in love with, but when it's time to marry, it's your father that's choosing your husband for you. Hence, it's your father that gives you.
Right.
I hope it makes sense.
Absolutely.
And that is why till today, women would go and appreciate and always be interested in older men.
Yeah.
Who wants a boy?
Clearly, you shouldn't be in a relationship if you can't fend for yourself.
Thank you very much. No, you shouldn't be in a relationship if you can't fend for others.
I mean, you should be able to fend for yourself to want to fend for others.
Yeah, fending for yourself is different from fending for others. Fending for others requires a sacrificial mindset where it's no longer about you. That's why a father can go without shoes and make sure and all his children have shoes. You want to know the wealth of a man? Look at his wife. It's a very selfish, self-centered, evil man that'll be driving a flashy car, doing everything flashy, and when you look at his wife, you regret it. No. I hope you understand.
Absolutely. But should there be a timeline to it? Say, because I have friends who say to me, oh, they wish they got married earlier.
Yeah.
Because now it's difficult
to
100%. Find a wife. Because they're in their late 30s. And when they say it's difficult, so it's now a sense of regret. Oh, I should have been building with someone at the time, when I thought I needed to settle. Because the ideology is I need to get to a certain level of stability before I bring someone into that. Was that in any way your reason?
No, I actually had somebody that I was in love with who I wanted to build with. But what you will learn is that, and like I've come to the realization that you have to find your person. The person I wanted to be with wanted something else in life. So love is not the recipe for getting married. It is not. Hence, a lot of people fall in love and fall out of love. Family values, principles, ambition. your goals, your calling and your purpose. The other person has to align with it. Character plays a strong part. Upbringing plays a strong part. Now you start to understand when our parents will tell you, don't marry from this family. They try and put you to a particular, because they understand. See, marriage is not just you and that person. No. It is two families coming together to become one. So there are loads of working parts that need to align. Because what will keep that marriage is not the two of you alone, but the support of both families addressing your issues. Not it being a debate on social media. Do you think I don't have issues? Do you think I'm not facing challenges? But it's not strangers' business. It's family business. So having the right family matters.
Speak very highly of family as we wrap this up. And if there's anything I've heard you constantly talk about is how your dad will always tell you that a good name is better than many riches. And for you, I think it's priority to protect the Giwa's legacy. Yeah. What would you like to be remembered for? Because it seems as though, there's how people see you right now. Is that how you want to be seen?
How people see me right now is temporary. I'm a data guy. Unfortunately, everything we are doing is planned. I start with the end in mind. I'm created in God's image. And God declares the end from the beginning. I'm more in tune with who I am and where I'm going. So just because I'm experiencing traffic doesn't mean I will not get to my destination. Just because there's a lot of noise right now doesn't mean I'm not walking towards where I'm going. My father told me, if everybody will hate you, let your yes be yes, let your no be no. Even criminals are looking for who to trust. I'll tell you a secret. Since the podcast, I have sold 6 properties, minimum $480,000. Why? Now, Nigerians are going to get angry now. It is not my fault if you are not listening and learning. Data is the lifeblood of every business. In fact, data is more powerful than your pastor who is a prophet. Yeah? Your pastor will give you prophecy based on probability and facts, which is practically what we do with data, but we have the data to back it up. I don't have billboard money. And I'm realistic about the Nigerian market. To reach the people that can buy my property, I need the masses. 99.9% of the Nigerian population, surface thinkers, grab something headline, get rattled, it becomes a topic, we've got the engagement, everyone's talking about it, it's now beer parlor conversation. Guess who it reaches? That lovely 1%. That lovely 1% are your thinkers. They now go and watch the podcast. Go and look at the short videos, the short clips, hundreds of thousands of views. Go and look at the podcast, 17,000 views. Go and read the comments on the
social media.
Instagram. Insulting my papa and everything. How does that one change my views? You can't afford my property anyway. Go and look at the YouTube video and the 17,000 views, probably 20,000 views now, and the comments. Then go and look at my DM. I have 128 people that have requested interest in the property I've sold. I think we're hitting the 6th person. What they are saying is different. You see, your wealthy, observe, study, identify, and jump on it. So Nigerians need to start thinking. Now, I'm not worried about saying it as it is, because the truth hurts. But you know what happens after the truth hurts? After you have lashed out, you start thinking. You can't forget it. You can't erase the truth that you have heard.
It stays with you.
It stays with you. So, am I worried about what people are saying right now? No, now. Because by their fruits you shall know. You will see the fruits of my hard work. People think that I'm associated with city boys or with them Tinubu and stuff like that. Some people think that, oh, it is ill-gotten money that has got me where I am. I've said it before. Call EFCC, let them come and investigate openly. Why? Because I have nothing to hide. That's my integrity right there. That's my name right there. Not only that, if tomorrow you see a politician standing right next to me, based on the way I have stood my ground, then my integrity may just pass on to that politician. If this politician is right next to Keji, then that means that this politician might be a good person. This politician is ready to say it as it is and stop lying to the Nigerian people. So, how do I want to be seen? In the way that God has purposed my life. He's the author and finisher of our faith. I wake up every day. I present my plans to God, but He directs my path. Just like before I came here today, Lord, I analyzed, I talked about everything I want to do, presented it to God, and I said, Lord, when I open my mouth, guide me. Because it would be very wrong for me to tell you how I want you, how I want people to see me, when I'm not the author and finisher of my own faith. So let God do that.
I think it's a good place to wrap this up. Thank you so much, Keji. This is mind-blowing to say the least. And I think that it's very important to get to know people before judging them, because what we get more often than not is, just as you said, I was critically analyzing the analogy you gave about the post on Instagram and other blogs and on the YouTube channel. It just tells you that people are okay with breadcrumbs.
Yeah.
And they just want to move on to the next thing.
Yeah.
That's not how life works.
Yeah.
That's not how life works. So thank you
worries.
for always doing this. We too won't give below.
Me, I'm happy with whatever I'm getting. I'm happy. I'm already looking at it. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
On behalf of the production
Thank
of La Hot, I
you.
want to say thank you for coming here
I always
and
love
for
a gift.
sharing your wisdom with the world. Because I mean, this is not just about you. And just speaking to you now, I realize that you're someone given to impact. It's not just your immediate. Hence, I mean, why would you do a WhatsApp park that is employing millions of people? You know, and being a blessing to millions of families. So thank you for what you do.
Thank you.
And I'm looking forward to more conversations
Yes.
with you. Well, this is where we draw the curtains. You don't hear I'm from Keji Giwa. In no great speak pidgin now.
I'm so sorry. I tried. I tried. It's not second nature. It didn't help me. If you had started with the pigeon, I'll have flown.
So, not just watch the excerpt we'll post for social media. Get to learn.
Yeah.
From everything that he's talked about. I mean, the story of his grandfather has to be the most, I was almost tearing up, because I mean, you would not know these things. I think before now, I also thought that, this man was already set for success. So what's he talking about? But now he's told you about his journey. And the truth of the matter is, nobody owes you anything. Because if you think about, when I see people blame, they always credit Davido's hard work to his dad. You can see crystal clear that this man is walking the path to success. But you would always want to discredit his hard work because it comes from. No. Because the question is, why are you not doing what the other person is doing? And that's what I would always live by. or if you think this person is better off, then maybe apply everything that they've done to get to where they are and see if you can do it. So please watch the entire thing. And let's hear from you. Let's hear how you think about what we've talked on today. So you can find us at Lahore Talk Podcast on YouTube, on Instagram, and across other social media platforms. As always, I go tell you, say, if you know talk, person go talk for you. My name is Vic Riches. I'll see you on the next one.